Page 4, the boat dock. On page 5 at the top, they give you that practice journal thing. Well, it's a checklist. That's up to you. I don't really use that kind of stuff. I have a process of learning a new piece of music. That's sort of a checklist thing. And I go through that. As far as actually practicing goes, that's a whole different ballgame. We haven't talked much about practicing. A lot of teachers don't teach their students how to practice. They just dare to go practice. I didn't get into it too much until college, and one teacher finally decided, you don't know how to practice, and tried to teach me how to practice. And then years later, I found out what he taught me how to practice is necessarily the only way to do it. There's other ways to practice too. And so I got into, well, let's find out how to practice. Why don't piano teachers or music teachers teach their students how to practice? Well, probably because they never really thought about it. They just kind of do it. But if you don't practice correctly, you will do more harm than good, and you can waste a lot of time. It can be very frustrating. I do all this practice, I'm not getting anywhere. It's not the time you spend practicing, it's how you practice, the efficiency. So maybe we need to talk about that some. And they get the checklist there. I don't know that I agree with everything they're saying. I mean, in a sense, it's right, but that's not part of practicing. It's part of playing the piece, learning the piece. Now, top of page 4, they give a rhythm review. That's fine if you want to do that. I prefer to use the piece myself. The point I think they're getting at is the dotted half note. Remember, that's the same as 3 quarter notes. Now let's see what this dock is doing and what we got going on here. I look it over and see how long it is. It's about 4 lines long. It's on pages 4 and 5. The clef signs are still treble and bass clef. The time signature is 3/4 time now, so there's only 3 counts in a measure, but we're still counting quarter notes. I'll take both hands together here since only one hand is playing at a time. The right hand starts with second finger on the E, and I trust you know the names of the notes in the music. That we learned all that stuff in the first book. This one, I'm going on from there. Here. So here. And the left hand, when it comes in at measure 5, is thumb on middle C. So we're here. Now remember the numbers at the beginning of the lines above the staff in the little box? Those are measure numbers. So find measure 5, you're here. So it's here. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Get the idea? Okay. So you go through and play the notes, count them out carefully, and remember on the rhythm, you're only counting it to get it. Once you've been through it and you know what the rhythm is, you don't count it anymore. You might have to count it on the longer held notes to make sure you hold them the right number of beats, but otherwise you feel the rhythm, you don't count it. And once I can do that, then I go back through and get rid of the hesitation. So it's a steady beat from start to finish. And again, this gets back to join in on the beat. So before I play the first note, I get that beat going in my head. And then when I'm ready, I simply start it. I join in. I just join into the beat. Follow along what I've got going in my head. I don't start counting or start feeling the beat and play the first note at the same time. I want the beat to be going first, and then I can follow the beat going in there. You practice that. You get in the habit of doing that. Then once I can play it all through with no hesitations, then I think about the dynamic. This is MF at the beginning. It's mezzo forte or moderately loud, medium loud, sort of loud. It's not loud, it's sort of loud. You'll have to decide what that is. It's not a set value. It's whatever. It depends on your situation. It's whatever. And then on measure 9, you see there's a P. That's piano for soft. Now we're soft. How soft? Again, I don't know. It's just light. Just light. And then on measure 13, you're moderately loud again. Here. So, and I use weight to play. So the louder I'm playing, the more weight, the heavier I feel on it. So softly, I'm light. And loud, I'm heavy. But let the wrist collapse a little bit on these. Don't stiffen up and play with a stiff wrist. We want to stay as relaxed as possible. And this weight thing, I simply pass weight from one finger to the other. It's like walking down the street. You're passing weight from one leg to the other. You don't even think about it, you just do it. Same thing here, except I got 5 legs on each hand, sort of. And I'm just here, and then I just pass the weight from that finger to that finger. and then here, here. And it's a very small motion because really I'm lowering which finger I want the weight to be on. So it's, because I can pass weight from any finger to any finger or combination of fingers very quickly. It really works quite well. And it allows me to stay relaxed. Now, once I have the dynamics sort of under control, then I think about the speed. And it says flowing. Isn't that nice? That's not a speed, but it tells you to move it. But you're going to do that anyway. I guess it's just a nice medium, middle of the road feeling. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Please don't copy me. You don't have to take it at that loud and soft that I do. And you don't have to take it at the speed I'm going. Now, the electronics I'm using to record these videos want to even out the volume. So my louds don't come out as loud as there are here. My softs don't come out as soft because that wants to even them out. So I have to exaggerate them to get a difference. It sounds terrible here, but it sounds okay on the video. If I play it so it sounds good here, it sounds in the video like I'm playing everything about the same. That's because the electronics even it out. You just pretend I did a good job, okay? It's okay. Now remember the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 1. And again, if you're having troubles with that, then exaggerate them. 1, 2, 3, 1 on these. So you learn it and get it to where you can play it with no hesitations. Now at the bottom of page 5, they want you to circle the skips in the left hand. Remember the skips, it's where it's not next to each other. On the left hand, they're talking about the bottom staff. Well, the left hand doesn't play until measure 5. These, they're all next to each other, they're steps. But on measure 7, when you go here to here, that's a skip. The A to C, yeah. And you get rests in between about that. And then last line again, these are all steps on measure 13. But then when you go from the A to C, that's a skip. Just learn to recognize these things. That helps making music reading a little easier when the music gets more complicated. Now, let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any louds and softs, just notes and rhythms. Just to make sure you got all that correct. I'll give us 3 counts. Now, this is after you've learned it. Learn it first and then check it with me. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, off. There's a duet for this. I'd like to play that, and you play what we just played. I need you to go up an octave on the piano. So just pretend that middle C instead of here is up here. And instead of here, you're up here. Play it all up here. I will speed this up a little bit. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go.